So it's the morning when we gotta go set up the booth. There's a pallet jack back there that I need to get out. Unloading it, stack of paper, and it all falls. About halfway through cleaning it up. I am trying to remind myself to remember the mission that God has called us to. Love people well, to build each other up in the faith, and to bring people closer to Jesus. Tell you what, it's really hard to do. And remind yourself of that when stuff seems to just keep going wrong. So, we have a flat tire. Anyways, I went to Racetrack, so they had a pump over there, or 7-Eleven, and it's out of order. But these guys over here, they have air pump in the back of their truck. So I rolled up, asked them, and they're like, yeah, no problem. And they got me set up. Amazing. God has a sense of humor because it's literally one thing after another. We are here. This is inside the tower building. We got the truck docked up. We need to go get some of the team members to come help me unload. We got it set up mostly, 80% there, a lot of little things, tablecloths, got to get the display cases. This is the gumball machine. Woo, almost tripped on the sandbag. These sandbags, you remember those. This is how the sandbags get used down here to hold stuff like this down so that it doesn't get bumped around. It's going well. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna have about another 4 hours to finish setting things up, getting all the little details together. But it's looking good. It's looking good. Okay, everyone, how do y'all feel right now?
Amen.
The booth is completely set up. Yeah! I'm gonna give y'all a walking tour of it really quick. I'm gonna do a voiceover. This is the front of the booth. We have some artifacts on the left, and on the right we have 2 giveaways. One is 12 copies of some of Josh's books. Then we have a book with photocopies of the entire New Testament in manuscripts. And starting over here, the whole booth is about understanding the reliability of the Bible and being challenged that it's worth a closer look. We have 3 questions that we answer in doing this. First is understanding how the Bible has been passed down meticulously by the scribes. This is a Torah scroll, and the video explains and walks through all the details. Next is unpacking the challenge about the Bible being changed. Here on the left, you see the Great Isaiah Scroll, which is 1,000 years earlier than the Leningrad Codex. They are 99% the exact same. Here is the Tower of Papers that you saw me knock over. Down here is the Iliad, which is recognized as an incredibly accurate historical document by scholars. Now, the rest of this paper is what we have of the Bible in terms of historical documents. With those 2 arguments, we still haven't answered how the Bible is historically true or reliable. We look at 2 non-Christian historians, Josephus and Tacitus. In their writings, both address historical biblical events in the New Testament. We can trust that the Bible is historically reliable. The goal is that people come to an understanding and a confidence that the Bible truly is the Word of God, and that they can trust what is written down and know that the Bible has not been changed and that it really is the living, breathing Word of God. Go ahead and scan this QR code if you want to check out some of the resources that people had access to. There you saw the gumball machine. And here are the manuscripts we have on the front that people see when they walk by. On the right, this is a few hundred-year-old Torah scroll, and these are other manuscripts and fragments that Josh has collected over the years. Some are biblical manuscripts, others are just other poets, but they're all, a couple thousand years old. And it's been really cool for people to come up and check them out and read them and see these ancient museum grade artifacts. It's really, really cool. It has been quite a journey getting all this coordinated and set up. We have many other booths here. Some are still getting set up. Laying down made me see this from a whole new angle.
Here's the Iliad. That's the Bible.
It is 12:10. Got the box truck finally loaded up. We went way later than expected, and then it took forever for people to get out. And I'm driving through the middle of Fair Park right now, so we had to wait for everyone to clear so that I could get the box truck in to then get it loaded with some of our team. It has been a very long weekend. This was a great event. There weren't as many people as we expected. You know, there's 40,000 registrants, and we expected, you know, a good portion not to show up. It's a free event. I think in total it's like, I don't know, somewhere between 5 to 10,000, which is a big number, you know. But in a place as big as the Cotton Bowl in Fair Park, it feels smaller. So it was a little discouraging in that way. But man, the stories that I can tell of the people that encountered the booth. I got to talk to hundreds of people that were coming through there. It was so exciting. I need to go to sleep. Just took a shower. It's 12:45. Well, 12:52. Good night. Okay. Just a little bit of bedhead. I don't know if you can see that on the mirrors. Ooh, buddy. And then it was a curb right on this side. Tell you what, driving this big box truck around the Cotton Bowl, I am getting pretty good at driving this thing. Tell you what. Okay, we got truck getting loaded up over there. Now here's the thing. We got all these individual boxes that we can't put on a pallet because all the pallets are busted. But we got to fit them all in here. So we got started a little bit, but just got to squeeze them in. Woo! We're about halfway there. I've been saying it's just one thing after another. Sometimes it's just easier to do it yourself. Like, and this is what I mean. I could call some people on the team and get them down here, but it would take them an hour to get down here, and it's Sunday morning. I'm already down here. By the time they get down here, drop everything, I'll have this loaded up. So slow and steady wins the race. Oh man. The last box. In you go. Let's go. Ugh. I wonder what Jesus would say about all this. I think of when Jesus was teaching the parable of the unrighteous manager. And at the end of the parable, he says, if we're not good stewards of unrighteous wealth or just earthly wealth, what then about true riches? You know, the true riches that come from the kingdom of heaven, that are, it's more than money. It's relationships. It's being able to enjoy the fullness of God's creation, not just being out in nature, but I mean, even like in this moment, of packing these books up, like those books, even in that, are a part of God's creation, a part of it, the fullness of his creation. God has used those books so much. He gave Josh that book. Josh has stewarded that book very well over the years, and so has his entire team over the course of the years. And that is a part of God's creation. It's a part of his design for us to steward things well that he gives us. And the true riches come in, moments like this, when, like for me, I'm exhausted right now. I'm sweaty. I'm hot. I want to be home with Sarah. I want to be at church with her, worshiping with my local body. But this is what God has called me to do. This is where he's placed me. Dave was here earlier. Like, this is where Dave has been placed. Like, everyone on our team is stewarding what they have well. And that is a true richness, a true wealth. And it's an incredible thing. And I just want to encourage all of us on this ministry team as my supporters. Like, God has given us so much, not just in terms of like monies and stewardship of like giving and things like that, but he has given us such true riches as a ministry team. There was one person that came into the booth who what's his name? I can't even remember his name. He was going through, and on that first section where it's talking about how the Bible has been passed down, that hit him fresh. Like, he had never really considered how tedious the scribes were and how much of a perfectionist they were, and how that mattered for how the scriptures were passed down over generations and how they were copied. And like, it just hit him in a really cool way to witness. Anyways, I love y'all so much. Always remember what God is doing in your life and through your life. I love you guys. Thank you for praying. Leon. The guy's name was Leon, who came to the booth, the story I shared a second ago. Okay,